Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. What I want to go through today is something that's quite important to me, and it's how one mindful minute can change the day. Now, this can be done at any point in time during the day, and I find that morning, afternoon, or nighttime, you can actually find that if you just set aside some time throughout the day to just be present and practice these steps, you'll find that you will be able to sort of focus a little bit more, you get a bit more clarity as well, but also, most importantly, it allows you to be present, which is by far the most important thing in this day and age, being so busy and also caught up on our mobile phones, etc. So, let's say at the end of the day, you've had a really busy day and you haven't really had time to think about anything but the task that you were doing. Maybe it's work, maybe it's uni, etc. I want you to try something with me. I want you to try one, which is a body scan, essentially, but it doesn't need to be the full body because that can take a bit of time. So what I like to do is to break it up into body parts. For example, we'll start with the hand. So what I want you to do is to look at your hand for a second and then close your eyes. And then with your eyes closed, I want you to try and focus as if you're scanning your hand, imaginary, with an imaginary texter or pencil. You'll be tracing around your hand. So I want you to start at your wrist on the left side, going around the fingers, scanning each finger, and if you can, even just feel a little bit of the sensation that's going through the fingertips. So sometimes when you actually think about it, your brain actually picks up some of the sensations going through, especially around like the actual tip of your fingers too. If you can't feel that, you can always have a quick look and see how there's sometimes there's lines, there's creases. You can have a look at your knuckles and try and then close your eyes again and try and scan through the hand. So just working your way through. If you follow me, we'll go through the pinky. We'll go maybe even feel the nail bed. You can just think about the nail bed of the pinky down towards the next finger, scanning up towards the nail bed again, and then going across as well. And then working through, I like to work through the palm side of the hand as well. And some of those creases, seeing if you can look at them and then kind of imagine drawing through them too on your hand. And I think this is a really nice way to just sort of focus on the present, because we are where we are at this current moment. While you're watching this video is where you are. And I think that's very, very important to try and acknowledge that. Also taking away from the rest of the thoughts that are going on through your mind, because for this current moment, we want you to be as present as possible and as mindful as possible. So that's a body scan of the hand. And I will in future videos also go through some of those more like different parts of the body that you can do. Also in like walking, sitting, standing, you can do different positions. There's a whole variety of options. So I think it's really important to sort of go through that. But for now, we'll start with the hand. The other thing you can do as well is a box breathing. So the breathing, it's another different component. And typically I would do maybe two of the things I would discuss, but you can kind of break them up a little bit and do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, etc. So, with the box breathing, option number 2, that is you will do a breath in for 4 seconds. So, think about when you're breathing in, breathing the air in through the nose and feel the air go in through the nose. Maybe it's warm, maybe it's cool. And then down into the lungs, expanding the lungs for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds. So, trapping that air in for 4 seconds. And then breathing out through the mouth. And I really want you to feel that breath come out as well. So we'll have a go together. So follow with me, breathing in, hold, and out through the mouth. So have a go at that. Try that a few times as well. What I would do is maybe do it 4 to 5 times and focus on trying to be mindful of the breathing into. So feel the breath go into the lungs and then feel it come out through the mouth as well. I find that it doesn't need to be that many amount. Like you can do a shorter amount of breathing as long as you're focused on the aspects of the breathing that allow you to be mindful. So breaking it up into feeling the air go through the nose, down into the lungs, and then when you breathe out, the same sort of thing, up through the lungs and into the mouth and out through the mouth. I find that it's a nice way to also down-regulate everything, slow it down a little bit, and just bring yourself back from the busyness of the day. That's number 2. Now, number 3, and I think it's an important one, it's not necessarily a practice, but it's more of a mindset. The concept is that sometimes we do things so quickly we do things so abruptly. We don't think about entirely what we're doing when it comes to the daily tasks that we complete day in, day out. For example, having your breakfast, having your lunch. I, for one, am someone that when I eat my meal, I find that I actually, like, I can sometimes, and it's a habit I'm trying to break, is like watching YouTube, for example. And what I've realized is that while I'm eating, I'm not allowing myself to be mindful and be present, whereas I'm just trying to watch TV. So one thing that I would highly suggest to coincide with these practices, but also go throughout your mindfulness, is the concept of just taking it slow. So when you're having your food, if you're in a rush, don't watch TV, don't distract yourself, focus on what you're eating and just take your time. When you're brushing your teeth and things like that, daily tasks, if you find that you're rushing, you'll still be able to get the job done. Just slow it down regulate, and let your body know that you are safe. You are safe and you can complete these tasks. You're still doing them, just at a slight reduction of time, of space and time. I think that it's important because it allows you to recognize and allows your body to acknowledge that you are here and you're just doing your tasks. There is no pressure. And if there is pressure, then maybe focusing more on the breath behind it. So taking some time to just do some deep breathing, those breaths before, and then getting onto the task. And that's what I would definitely suggest. So those three things already. And I think that there are some other things as well. You can do another practice, which I'll go into a bit more detail later, but I think it's important, is the concept of mindful eating. And I guess it coincides with slowing down a little bit, but it's focusing on like the texture, the taste, like if it's salty or sweet, or if it's hard or soft, like it, depending on, you can describe the food. Like trying to do that. It's a nice way, even just giving it 5 or 6 words of description while you're eating it, just allows you to recognize what you're currently eating. And so it doesn't just feel like you're eating and then that's it. So that's a really nice way to practice some mindfulness. Another one of my favorites, is 3 things that you can see close, near, and far. This is a really nice one that you can just practice any point of time. You'll find 3 things that you can see which are near you. So for example, you guys and my laptop, my phone, and some sunglasses. Then middle, which is maybe about a meter or 2 away, I'll say a water bottle, a pot plant, and then some, what have we got? A glass. And then far would probably be a door, a painting, and a bed frame. And that's like, so you're essentially doing 9 things, but you're just focusing on the elements of, I guess, like sequentially organizing it, and also allows you to be aware of where you are truly around you. I would also say that it is something that it's just really nice way to practice being mindful and being present. I think that I find that these sort of things, and the combination of these things, is a really nice way to focus, to down regulate the mind, and also allow yourself to be like present. So I would do these things throughout the day. I would say if you could just choose 2 of these things from the video, and try and practice that for maybe a week. And then I would look at maybe even writing it down in a diary so you know what you've been practicing. And then after a week, you can reassess how you're feeling. And if you need to add things, or you find that something isn't really working, because not everything will work for everyone, but there are different ways to practice mindfulness. And then I would say the next thing you could do would also be, and something that I would always recommend at the end of the day, which is something I've been doing, is writing down 1 thing that you are grateful for, and 1 win. So I've been keeping track of my small wins every day. It's a nice way to just write it down in your phone, adding it with the date, and then you can track, and then you'll realize that over a week, that's 7 small wins, which is quite substantial. A small win could be anything, as much as little as, that you've woken up on time for your alarm, or you had a good day, or you got a walk in, or you achieved something in your to-do list. Could be as big as small as, or could be as big or as small as you would like. So I would definitely suggest that as well. I think that should be all for now. I think we'll definitely continue these conversations in in future videos. If there's anything you would like to see, please let me know. Pop it in the comments. Like and subscribe to this video and this channel, and please feel free to share or message me anything about this topic. I love discussing it and I love practicing it. And I do have a link, onemindfulmin.au. You can check that out too for some more information. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.